morning. It's very overcast here today. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Very overcast here. Very thick fog. What are you doing up so early? Are you on Eastern time? I forget where you're from. Good morning. We have some fog here today. Very thick fog. However, my husband texted me a little bit ago on his way to work, and he said there is some sun coming through where he's at. So hopefully it's on its way here and move these clouds out of the way, or fog. So here we are. While you're here, if you want to hit that like button. Oh, hello from Switzerland. Thanks for coming. Now, is it nighttime or daytime in Switzerland right now? Kelly, are you still here? Okay. So it's 6 o'clock here on the East Coast. And it's very, very foggy. Are you on the East Coast, Kelly? Good morning, Nicola. How are you, honey? I hope all's well there. Is it nighttime there for you, Nicola? Because you're in Italy, correct? Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate that. Okay, that's great to hear, Nicola. Oh, okay. Well, you're right into the day, huh? 6 a.m. here too, Kelly. Yep, starting the day. What's the weather like where you're at, Kelly? Oh, Nicola's going to cook. What are you going to make? I'm sure something scrumptious. Nicola's about to cook some lunch. It's noon there. Oh, is it foggy there too? Yeah, Kelly, what are you up so early for? Myself, I haven't gone to bed yet. Still not sleeping right here. I figure I have an appointment at 9 o'clock, so might as well not go to bed yet. The birds are out. They're not quite as loud as they have been lately. They can be pretty loud. I think the ones that were in my ceiling fan on my porch have gone elsewhere, I guess. I'm always up early too. So usually I get a little bit of sleep and get up at 3. a.m. and I've done that for years, even when I was still teaching. But it gives me time, quiet time. My mom used to get up at 3 a.m. and I said, why don't I open it, waking up at 3 a.m.? And she said, that's when God wants you to get up, when it's quiet, and say your prayers or listen to God. So that's what my mom used to say. And my youngest son, Matt, recently told me, he's, Mom, I'm waking up at 3 a.m. like you. I said, do you stay up? He says, no, I try to go back to sleep. So, yeah, I guess you can hear the birds. It's true. Nicola says, it's true. I'm up at 5:36 a.m. Can't do earlier. And she said, the bird sounds are lovely. Yeah. But when you live in an area for so long, like, you don't notice things. Well, I don't notice things like that. And then when you guys all had started saying that you hear the birds, and I'm like, oh wow. And then when I watched the video, and I was like, oh, they are kind of loud. Because when I'm editing, um, my one cat, Mister, gets up on the chair and he's like looking at me like, where's those birds? Where are they at? Because he loves to sit on the little table I have, little half table I have in front of the window by the bird feeders. And there's a screen in it, so I crack it open, and he just loves that. Yeah. Usually after my sunrise with Sally, I go and listen to Marie, meditation and motivation and meditation with Marie. I don't know if you are familiar with her, but I just love her. She has a 10-minute, sometimes 15-minute morning meditation, and it always starts my day off so nice, just to calm down. And her voice is so tranquil. I just love her, and I use her when I'm trying to go to sleep. I use her. Yeah, her videos are so awesome. Nicola says, I love Marie's videos. I use them every day. Yes, she is such, oh, she's so good at that. She's really doing awesome. More people should scoot over there and check her out, because I always look forward to her, morning meditation, and then throughout the day I listen to some of her other things too when I'm doing stuff around the house. So, yeah, and it's getting lighter out, but I don't see any sun. I don't know if it's going to clear up at all. So calming her voice is, yes. So, well, thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sometimes I wonder if anyone's out there listening, but I have two of my friends here today and some new friends, it looks like. So I have my readings for today. It's from the Jesus Calling book. I don't know if anybody's ever read that. It's a 365-day devotional. It's by Sarah Young. And I used to do this with one of my teacher friends. She was from Mexico, and she taught herself English when she came to teach in the United States. And we got to be very um, close. And okay, Nicola says, gonna make lunch and record this video. It's a dish honoring my late grandma. Oh, I'll be back right after this, Sally. Okay, honey. Oh, that's so nice. You're honoring your grandma. So nice. Anyway, the book that I got, it's so worn out. I used to read it all the time with my friend. Her name was Martha, and she's from Mexico, and she taught herself English. And then she was teaching the children of Idaho Spanish. But I really thought that she was so good that she should have been teaching the kids from Mexico English because I mean she knew how to do that. But anyway, we both had the same book, so we would either before school started or during lunchtime discuss the readings from this book during the day, and we always did that, and it was so nice. And I also have used this book when my mom was terminally ill with colon cancer. I would do readings from here with my mom, and we would talk about them. And even at in the evening, sometimes when I would go home, because I did never really like to leave her, because she was so sick, and she would call me on the phone and say, you know, can we do some readings? And she'd always fall asleep. So I think it relaxed her and calmed her to get some sleep. So, okay, I'm going to start now. Let's see what I got here. I'll just pull a thing out here. Okay, the readings are from Matthew 6:34 and 2 Corinthians 12:9 and Psalm 62:8. And I think there's a couple other ones if we have time, we can do. Um, so it says, do not worry about tomorrow. This is not a suggestion, but a command. I divided time into days and nights so that you would have manageable portions of life to handle. My grace is sufficient for you, but its sufficiency is for only one day at a time. When you worry about the future, you heap day upon day of troubles into your flimsy frame. You stagger under this heavy load, which I never intended you to carry. Throw off this oppressive burden with one quick thrust of trust. Anxious thoughts meander about and crisscrossing your brain, but trusting me brings you directly into my presence. As you thus affirm your faith, shackles of worry fall off instantly. Enjoy my presence continually by trusting me at all times. So he doesn't want us to worry about tomorrow. He says that's why, you know, we have the days divided into more or less 24 hours, you know, to deal with the day as it comes and not be worried about the past and the future and all of that. Live for what he gave you for today. And that's very, very strong advice. I know I don't always follow that advice, which I should, because I do carry burdens on my back and worry about what's coming up and what has happened and trying to fit everything into a day. And when I always have a checkoff list. I don't know if it's from being a teacher or what, but I always have a to-do list. And a lot of times I put so much stuff on there that I rarely get the whole list done. And that makes me become overwhelmed. And then I got to add that to the next list. And it's just, I need to, I don't know if it was Mel Robbins or who it was, because I follow her a lot. She's very, very easy to listen to, talking with her advice. So, and she has that new book, Let Them. And so Mel Robbins was saying, you know, about making lists like that and making yourself overwhelmed. You should only handle, you know, 3 things a day and make them worthwhile. And then she had another short on YouTube, and she's like, you know, I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, thinking, okay, I can do this, or maybe I can just make a phone call to someone while I'm just sitting here not doing anything. But then she said, you know, I was thinking to myself, this is my time to just exhale, you know, just to sit here and, you know, listen to the birds or, you know, just look out into the, you know, the sunset or whatever's happening at the time. And she's like, I always feel like I have to be doing, doing, doing. And it's so hard to just relax. And that, I think that's a lot with me too. That's why I have such a hard time going to sleep, especially when I barely get anything done. I'm thinking, oh, there's a whole day wasted. But because yesterday I had to go for my iron infusion, and I'm sitting there and I had the IV in and I'm doing something to help myself to, be healthier. And I'm just thinking, well, I could be doing this. And I said, no, I need to just sit here and just breathe. And I ended up dozing off for a few minutes, but um, it was really nice to get a little tiny bit of sleep there. But sometimes when I get a little bit of sleep during the day, it makes me more groggy. So I usually just go through the day without anything. But um, yeah, so um, the next thing I wanted to read in here, um, it says, keep walking with me along the path I have chosen for you. Your desire to live close to me is a delight to my heart. I could instantly grant you the spiritual riches you desire, but that is not my way for you. Together we will forge a pathway up the high mountain. The journey is arduous at times, and you are weak. Someday you will dance light-footed on the high peaks, but for now your walk is often plodding and heavy. All I require of you is to take the next step, clinging to my hand for strength and direction. Though my path is difficult and the scenery dull at the moment, there are sparkling surprises just around the bend. Stay on the path I have selected for you. It is truly the path of life. And those are from, that's from the books of Psalms, chapter 37 and also 16. And what I'm seeing with this is, you know, we need to hold on to his hand and go down the path that he wants us to. And sometimes, even as creators on YouTube, we have these desires. We want to have the things that we want. We want to get there quick. We want to, have followers, and we want to make it big and, make money in that. And um, truthfully, I mean, I would love to be monetized too, but right now, I think I'm just enjoying the journey because the whole reason I started my channel was for community because um, I had just, stopped being a kindergarten teacher, and I was just missing my kiddos so much. And um, my neighborhood doesn't have a lot of kids. It's all pretty old people in this neighborhood, older than me, and believe that. But I try to, keep in touch with my neighbors. Sometimes they sit on the porch all by themselves, and they look so lonely. I have to remind my husband sometimes, did you say hi to you? She's just sitting there. Um, but I just wanted some community and getting to know people, all over the world. Like Nicola, she's from Italy, and Kelly's also from the East Coast here, so we have similar weather, and um, even like Tracy from Life Life in the Wild Side. Wait, Wild West. Life in the Wild West. Check her out. She is all the way over in California. And my friend Jess, she's in Washington. And some other people. Like, I know people all over the United States now and, around the world. So, even Karen, who's in New Zealand, she is YouTube over Life over 40 or YouTube over 40. If I know your name, I forget your your if I know your real name, I forget your channel name. If I know your channel name, then I'm always forgetting your name. So I think I'd rather just know your name, and then I can put in there, type on the screen what your channel is, but or in the description. But I just wanted community because I'm telling you, and I'm not ashamed to say, I was very lonely because my husband works long hours. I didn't have a car. I was at home, but you know how many times whenever I was teaching still, and I think, oh man, there's so many things I could do if I could just get a couple days off. Well, be careful what you wish for. Good morning, Heather. Good morning. And Heather is one of the people that I met here online too. Never met her. She's in Ohio. Um, Kelly says, I know, I always advise people to put their first name in their channel name for just that reason. Yes, that's good advice. That is very good advice. Uh, because I just, I'm 60 and I don't have much filing system left in there to put all this extra information, but I try. Um, and I always try to like make sure that I include everyone because I don't want anyone to feel slighted. So I try to mention as many people and do shout outs on my channel. Not that I'm the most popular channel around, but I'm doing pretty well, and um, I'm just happy that I'm able to do this every day and you know share things like my rainstorm the other day with the big rainbow, and my husband always teases me because he's like, you sound like a little bit. Look how excited you are. Because he was watching the video. He's like, look how excited you are over a rainbow. I said, well, I think we all should just stop and smell the roses sometimes because that's what I always told my kids. Never be so busy that you don't have time to stop and smell the roses. I mean, and my Matthew, my younger son, he's like, Mom, I always remember you saying that. He says, sometimes I find myself, going into work and there's a rose bush there, and I always stop and take a little sniff of that rose bush. So, thank you for hitting the like. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, so, I mean, a lot of us, our lives are so busy, and sometimes we just got to take some time for ourselves. God doesn't want us to worry about tomorrow. He's like, here's the gift of today, and you're looking forward to that. It's okay to look forward to things, but don't be dwelling on things of the past and that. So Mike makes fun of, this is from Heather. Mike makes fun of me all the time about taking the hummingbirds, talking to the hummingbirds and ants. Yeah. Well, you saw me in that one video. I was talking, I'm like, hey, birds. And I thought after I posted that, I'm thinking, oh, they're going to think I'm crazy. But I do talk to the birds. And Heather, you know how I talk to my dogs too. Um, and Levi is a bit sassy. I'm looking into getting him some dog classes. You know, he's just a handful lately. He was having a tantrum before I came out here, so I snuck out the garage. But I think he can still hear my voice out here on the porch. And I put the baby gate up so he couldn't go in the living room to hear me even more. So um, he just has so much anxiety, and I'm hoping that I can find someone that can help me with him. So, and when someone comes over, boy, it's like a major thing. He's barking, jumping on them, and then his sister Liberty starts doing it. So, um, I think I'm just too easy, too not stern enough, or keep the rules with them because they're my babies. So, anyway, that's that. So it is right. Look at it. It looks like it's getting worse. The fog is getting worse, guys. You can't see the trees across the street barely, huh? I don't know, but just like these readings, it says um, we'll be able to see what's around the bend, right? So hopefully the day clears up and the fog subsides, and we see what the day is going to bring us today. Like I always say, nobody is surrendered for us yet. We're going on, well, Nicole is at noon right now, but it's every morning is a brand new day, no matter where you live, no matter how you bring in that day. It's yours. It's a gift from God. Heather says, uh, my fur babies don't have any rules either. Well, when I was just leaving, I think it was Fifi, she was crying at the door, and I thought, well, maybe she got stuck somewhere in the garage because she was like really crying, like she was stuck somewhere. You know how they cry? And I opened the door into the mudroom from the garage, and there she was. She wanted to come in the garage, and I said, I'll be right back because, I didn't want to open the garage with her in there because I've already had Mister go on journeys, and he always comes back in the door like nothing happened. So No, I have to close up the doggy door during the day when they're up. So he takes these little adventures, and I love that cat so much that I don't know what I would do if something happened. And I've never been a cat person, and this cat really, I mean, if you see the video, the two-part video of when Mr. found me, I should say, when I was making donations, he just stole my heart. But Jake, my oldest cat, he's 15, he used to go out, but he used to bring me gifts and put them on my feet. Oh, Music Meep! Hi! Music Meep's here, and he says, Sally, my landlady went on holiday and left me in charge of a mad cat from the hood called Buddy. It's got some serious attitude, or rather, catitude. I love it. It's all good. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Uh, Music Meep. And what your name is, your first name is Anthony, right? Or Tony? What did you go by, honey? I'm so glad you're here. I missed you the last couple days. And Heather's here because Hubs is back to work and she can be up early. Oh, I do need a catio. And you said your husband, Heather, he builds them. Okay, see, I remembered your name, Music Me, Tony. I remembered your name. Yes. See, Heather, that's exactly the reason why you need to come to Pittsburgh from Ohio and have Mike help Hubs build a catio. I have the perfect spot for it. Because remember, I told you I was going to buy one, and you said, oh, no, don't do that. He knows how to do it. So, yeah. Perfect reason, Heather. Yeah, I would love to do that for them, especially, Heather says, yes, we need to get it together. Yep. So, oh, my cats would so love to be able to go outside like that and have a little bit of freedom in the catio. I have like 2 different spots I could do it. 2 windows. Maybe we'll do 2. But isn't it something how we love our pets so much that some people in other countries may think that, especially even when I was in Idaho, and that was in the United States, people are like, you let your dog sleep in the bed with you? Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh. And most of them, when I lived there, the area that I lived, they were outside dogs. And yeah, my dogs go outside and do their thing. They ring a bell when they need to go out. I open the door and let them. I know they used to have freedom with the doggy door, but since Mister decided he learned how to do that, I think when Jake, my older cat, used to go outside, I think he stayed in the yard because he's so fat. I don't think he could climb up on that fence. Okay, let's see. Music Meek. P.S. I'm actually staying at my landlady's house till the 23rd. Needless to say, it's not a good idea to let Buddy stay at my house. It likes to go out. Yeah. And I get in such a panic. I mean, I know they know how to take care of themselves, but I don't know. I just don't want to lose them. My Libby, Levi's sister, the Basset Hound, she's the one that's 5 and he's 4. And she took I told my husband to put the choke collar on, when he was taking her. I said, because she's going to slip out of that collar because they don't like to go to the vet. And who does like to go to the doctor, right? So he had her and the other dog, and Libby slipped out of that, and she, he lost her, and I thought, he didn't call me that he got there. He didn't call me what was going on there, because usually he'll text me, and I knew I should have went with him, so I called him, and he goes, oh, I lost Libby. And I was like, what? I hightailed it out there to that vet, and she was gone. She was gone. And she was gone for 24 days. Now, this was in December, freezing that winter. And she was gone 24 days through Christmas, through New Year's. And I don't know if you all say, heard what I've said before, that I always, wanted to move outside of Pittsburgh. I don't like it here. I don't like the weather. And I'll tell you what, these Pittsburghers, they were all there. Even though they had holiday plans for Christmas and New Year's, they were out passing flyers. They were making flyers. They were trying so hard to help us find Libby. When other people on my Facebook would say, "Oh, you have other dogs at home, she's gone," or some of them are so cruel, say, "Oh, the wolves got her," and they get me so upset. So I don't even do Facebook anymore. Um, so they would say all these things, and I said, "No, she's coming back. She's coming back." So my friend Vinny, the one who had just passed away, his mom started something on Facebook trying to get people together to help us, assist us with this. And YouTube says, anyone ever seen the film The 10 Lives of Thomasina the cat? It's a wonderful film made in the 70s, I think. Oh, isn't it funny how the acting in the film, how they do that? It's so different from today. Like when we used to get ready for school in the morning, my mom would allow us to watch TV for a little bit until we walked to school. And we would watch Leave It to Beaver. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but it's black and white. And the other morning, I was turning the TV on, and I don't have regular TV. I just have the streaming, and it came up on, I think it was YouTube, and it was Leave It to Beaver. And I said, you know what, I think I'm going to watch this. And I was just like going back in time where I was a little kid, in third grade, waiting to take my brothers for walking to school. And it's just like, Beaver would say, "Okay, Wally." Those times of those TV shows back there, and it was so different, the acting and everything, and it was so innocent. Heather says, Mike still watches Leave It to Beaver. It isn't, it is such a wholesome show, and it teaches a lesson, because poor Beaver, he's so naive, so innocent, just like, you know, when children first start out. But I tell you what, like kindergartners aren't the same as when I first started teaching. Um, I have a lot of kids that are more streetwise or know more things than I do. Let's see, Anthony says, Tony says, one of my favorite cartoons was Mr. Magoo, and of course Flintstones. Oh my gosh, and Top Cat. Oh, how about, do you remember Captain Caveman? I love Captain Caveman. But yeah, I used to watch Mr. Magoo. I was on my friend. He gets old T-shirts and things like that, and now they're making all the older ones like MTV and things. And there was a Mr. Magoo T-shirt. Yeah, Captain Caveman. That's what Tony said. Yeah, but there was a Mr. Magoo one, and I had Tony. I had this bracelet that I wear sometimes, and it has the big like ball things on it, and it's colorful. And I always tell everyone that that's my Wilma bracelet because it looks just like Flintstones. But some people are like, Flintstones, what's that? It's like, you don't know who the Flintstones are? You haven't lived until you know the Flintstones. Oh man. But Mr. Magoo, he was always out there. Oh my. Some of these things that kids today should be exposed to because there's so many great shows. But you know, because my kids, as they grew into teenagehood, they really got stuck on like gory horror movies. You know, I cannot watch that stuff. Mr. Tony says Magoo was my role model. Yes, he was just yeah, with the umbrella and just walking along. You know. Now did he? I can't remember. Did he have a sidekick like a pet or something, Mr. Magoo? I want to say. I'm trying to remember. Hmm, can't remember. But oh, my friend too also found a Captain Caveman shirt because I don't know how old you are, Anthony, but when long ago they used to put the toys. I don't know if they still do put toys in your cereal and stuff. Well, they were starting to put stuff in the powdered detergent, and um, they there was a Captain Caveman in the Tide or whatever detergent, my mom, and I'm like, oh, do you know I still have that? I have taken that through all my travels and all these years. I mean, that had to have been, I'm 60, so she probably gave it to me, what, 50 some years ago? I still have that, you know? And Tony says, Magoo's my role model. Okay. Magoo was blind as a bat and drove his car. And Anthony says he's 62. Oh, you're my age then. I thought you were a lot younger. Um, wow. Okay. I'm not saying, oh, you're old. I'm saying, oh, wow, I didn't. You just seemed a lot younger. You just seems like you get around and you're active. Like us old 60-year-olds. Just kidding. Um, yeah. So I'm hoping that, when I got this iron infusion, I have another one next Monday. I'm hoping that I start to feel better. But she said, the nurse had told me that even after the one I get next week, it takes about 4 weeks. And I'm like, no, 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 no. No, we're not doing that. It's going to work a lot sooner than that. So but I'm looking forward to a lot of things coming up. So we'll see how it goes. But today, July 15th was my dad's birthday, and my younger son's spouse's birthday, 38 this year. That's how old his spouse is. And yeah, in the summer, I tell you, after the 4th of July, it just seems like the summer goes so fast. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm a teacher, because I have the month of July. Um, Notion Drug close up my classroom, and the month of July goes by, and then beginning of August, we usually would set up our classrooms. So back to work. Um, Tony says, a troll recent said to me, Meek, grow up. I replied, what? The end and end up like you. Oh my goodness. Hey, Kimberly, good morning, my love. How are you? Everybody's spouse wife is Kimberly. We have Meep here, Kimberly. His name is Tony. Um, she's a good friend I met here too. I was talking about all the people I met here. Heather's on here. Heather, this is Kimberly. Um, it's really wild because I met Heather on here and we're just like best friends. And then I met Kimberly on here, and her and I have so much in common. Um, she has a wonderful husband who is just so good to her, like me, and so does Heather. And it's just so great to learn these people. I know a great singer called Kimberly. Yeah. So, Kimberly, what are you doing up so early? Her husband does truck driving, so he's on the road sometimes, and that's my cue to talked to her for 4 hours on the phone. Oh, hi, Kelly. Kelly's here too. Kelly, do you know Kimberly, Spell's wife? um, Kelly and Heather are part of my challenge called Project Me, Healthier Lifestyle, Happier Me. um, the first day was yesterday, and I kind of, I really did, I tried to get the water in, but I was at the hospital, and I just was so exhausted when I got home. I tried to eat properly, but that kind of went down the hole too. Hobbykins is in Florida, and I'm alone for a few days. Oh, that's my cue to call you. Um, Kelly says, I don't know everyone. Hi, spouse, wife, and Music Meep. Music Meep is Tony. I met him on here, and spouse, wife is Kimberly. Kimberly and Kelly, I think that Kimberly's friends with a lot of people that you're friends with. I believe she knows Karen and Paula and Susan and them, that little group we have. Is that right, Kimberly? You know all of those people? I think that's where I met you. Yeah, Kelly, I know. But again, I'm going to get it better today. I am. I'm going to get it better today. Yeah, I clicked on to be a member of the Facebook that you made, Kelly. Thank you very much for doing that. Um, so I just need your approval to be in the group. Um, let's see. Kimberly says, I've seen your handle around and about Kelly. Okay, cool. Yeah, every day is a new day. Isn't that what I just said, Kelly? Huh? So I need to heed my own advice. So, well, I'm just rambling and rambling, guys, huh? Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate that. But when my son came, God bless him. Um, every time he comes, I'm like, you have to get your rest, Matt, before you come because you know me, and I just talk and talk and talk, as you can see. I can talk to a stranger. That's how I make all the friends that I have. So, Kimberly says, I've seen your handle around and about Kelly. Okay. So yes, I'm a talker. You can ask Kimberly. They've been stuck on the phone with me and Heather. Um, I try to do the texting thing, but I'm just like my eyes are so bad, and I'm gonna get another pair of glasses to see if I can see better. Oh yes, Kimberly says yes, Sally. I met you through Karen's live. That's another person I love to listen to is Karen. Um, she is she's amazing. She does so much research for her channel, and she's going places. I'm telling you that lady's going places. Um, what is her channel? Her channel is YouTube over 40, I believe. And she has learned, like, she's taught herself all this technology, and I really admire that because I get so frustrated. Okay, and Tony says rambling is a lot better than silent audio, Sally. Besides, you have a great voice. Oh, thank you. Somebody else had said that too. It's real. Yeah. I I guess I'm probably real as it gets. I'm an open book, and that's the problem. Uh, I tell too much about my life, and my husband's like, you don't have to tell them everything. But I just think that some of the things that I've gone through, somebody can identify with and learn from it. Um, yes, Karen's channel is good. Yes, I really think her channel is awesome. Yes, she stops in sometimes. I think Music Meep and Tony and Karen and one other, I think Peter, were all talking one morning, and we were on here for about an hour and a half or something, just after everybody had left and just talking. Um, Kimberly says exactly my thoughts too. Yes, I'm a talker. Um, if I go to the grocery store or go to Walmart or something, like today, I have to make. My husband bought the wrong ink cartridge, and so he like if he was home and I'm gone for 2 hours, he knows I'm okay because I start talking to people, and and sometimes people are like, I'm like, do you need a hug? And they need a hug, or you tell them they look pretty or whatever, like the older people. Um, Sometimes I'm going to call you Anthony Music Neep. Okay, so that'll be my affectionate name for you because I'm going to be calling you Anthony. I know it. Open book people always get in trouble, but they are my favorite people. Oh my gosh, and you know my story about nobody wanted to sit next to me during the faculty meetings because I used to get people in trouble. Especially the younger ones, they would sit with me at first because, like, okay, this is a teacher that knows what's going on. She's been here a while, she's older. And then they sit next to me and they see that I am like the most immature person there is. I just, I don't like meetings. I have a hard time sitting still and keeping my mouth shut. I just always, I don't know. Yes, Kimberly, I overshare. I do. Experience is the best teacher. Yes, yes, it is. It is. And doing things with manipulatives and having hands on, I believe that's how kids learn and people, grown ups. That's how I learned to groom my Cocker Spaniels when I had Cocker Spaniels. Um, I have to touch things and do them to learn how to, master it. So why not share to help others? Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So I'm going to put you on the phone, Kimberly, so you can tell my husband it's okay for me to overshare. Oh, golly. So I just couldn't sleep last night. I don't know. I got my days and nights mixed up or something, but I don't even sleep during the day. But last night around 12, no, it was 1 o'clock. I went to the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the two guys that work at night, they crack up because here she is, and I'm just dragging myself in there. And so I was in there last night, and because they don't Planet Fitness isn't 24 hours anymore. It's like over here where I live. Friday they close at 9. Saturday and Sunday they're only open like I don't know 9 to something. I think it's 7. So I don't get to go in the middle of the night then, and I have such a hard time finding time to go. So Tony says when I was a child, my dad interrupted me with a gentle son. Do you ever? I'm talking. I replied, no, Dad, and carried on chattering. My mom, um, um, I'm reading what you guys are saying. Kelly, I think some of them are, but not all. Okay, you mean the gyms. Okay, adorable, Tony. Well, you know what? My mom was a very quiet. She was a little tiny. She always said she was 5'2", but I don't even think she was 5 foot. She was so tiny, and chubby little thing. And um, she was as Irish as they come. She was 100% Irish, and so because her maiden name was McCaffrey, and her mom's maiden name was Finnerty, so that was pretty Irish. But they came from Ireland. So my mom would giggle all the time because I was always doing something silly. I mean, I would do things that, well, I won't even mention on here. And she would be like, she would always say, Sally Ann. And she'd have this little grin on her face, like, oh, where did we get her? And sometimes she would say that too. She's like, oh, where did we get you? But some of the things I would say too. But I was always in trouble with my dad, so hence the hardly any relationship. He was always, on me about, doing my best and whatever. But but a lot of people were amazed that I turned out the way that I did because I use humor And even if it's, I've never, like, I always use humor, and I'll use it toward myself, and if I can get someone to laugh, that makes me happy. But I've never used humor to put somebody else down, like to get a laugh out of somebody else. um, to say things like, oh, they're crazy, or something, something to make them laugh at that person. It's always toward myself, because I don't think it's right to try to make fun of somebody else to get a laugh out of the people. So I'm very sensitive about that too. So I'm just um, rambling. Does anybody else have a topic? Oh goodness. And this is, it looks like it's getting even foggier. It seems like it just now it seems like it's harder to see. See how it's harder to see across the street now? I don't know. I guess it's drifting in more. I don't know. Heather, I love you when you ramble. Well, Heather, you've had a lot of that, and Kimberly is starting to as well. But yeah, I think it would be cool to talk to Tony here, and my AKA Anthony, because him and I would probably ramble into one another. Ireland is where my landlady has gone to, Northern Ireland. In the meantime, Buddy. I'm stuck with Buddy, the cat from the hood. Love you, Anthony. Tony, I love you, Anthony. P.S. It is Christo, who is Irish. Her husband. Oh, okay. Now, um, refresh my memory, um, Tony. What country are you from? Kimberly. Heather she was on a lot of my lives. Oh, the UK. Okay. Um, Usually where I am, Heather is. She doesn't have a channel, but she's a big supporter of YouTube. She loves different channels and sees a lot of stuff. Yeah, she's been on my channel a lot. She's a good friend, just like you. Um, but Tony, I think that you and I would get along splendidly. Um, we would have a great time if we were ever together. That would be so funny. But I am going to make my way to Ohio to meet Heather, and then I'm going to go see Kimberly. I just want to travel and stuff. But Tony, well, I was born near Liverpool, but lived in Plymouth, okay, since 1985. Wow, 85. That's the year I got married. So that was 40 years ago. That's the year I got married. So you were probably 22 when you moved there, right? Yeah. So, Tony, you were born in 63? You born in 63 then? Yeah, okay, 23. Okay. So you were born in Buddy the Cat from the Hood. I know. Kimberly, he is so funny. I love him. I think you would be great to go out with all four of us. Because we all have the same personality. We talk. But Heather talks, but she's a good listener. Heather's a good friend to have that likes to listen. Um, January of 63. Okay, what day in January? My son's birthday is the 14th of January. February 67. Oh, she's a little baby there. And then there's Heather, who's really young. The 25th, that's my girlfriend's birthday. I'm really big on birthdays. Yes, really big on birthdays. Um, if you guys would see Heather, you would not believe she's the age she is, because she's she is just gorgeous. And I know she's going to be embarrassed me saying that, but she has this long, thick hair. Oh, um, she's a beautiful girl. But I didn't believe her when she told me how old she was. So She can tell you how old she is if she wants people to know, but I just did not believe her. She just had her birthday and on the 7th, which I thought it was the 8th, but I just have so many really good friends on here, and I'm just so happy with. Um, Tony says people who refuse to grow up and stay innocent stay young. It's true. Bicentennial baby, yeah. I remember the bicentennial. I do. It was like this big deal in the United States. Oh man. And they had that, didn't they have a flag? The bicentennial flag or something? Um, yeah. Oh, Tony, I am not growing up anytime soon. I mean, there's people that can take me, and then there's people who can't take me. Um, yes, it's true. Believe it or not, some people do not like me. Okay. I have moderators on here now. I have, um, once you say something, Kimberly, you'll see that you now have a wrench. And let's see. We don't like those people. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, and Tony, the next time you say something, you'll see that you have a wrench. You got the power. Um, the other day I was on here. How I guess I don't know. Tony wasn't here, and there was really nobody that I knew, and they were writing in different languages. And I said, please don't. You know, if you I don't understand that English, and or that language, and I don't know if it was YouTube or who, but somebody retracted that person's statement. Oh, I'm using things here. Let's see. Heather says, "You are too sweet. No one believes me when I say I'm 49 and I am 3 days away from a firecracker." You are. No, she's the kindest person I ever met. We don't like those people. Sally, let's see. Kimberly says, I remember I decorated my bike. Yes, in red, white, and blue. And do you remember those things they had out, Kimberly, that go on the tires? And then, like, some people even put playing cards on your spokes of your bike tires, and then we go, you know. Yeah, we don't have any trolls today. That's nice. Power. Power. Yeah. Oh my goodness. My rose bushes. I still didn't plant those rose bushes. They're still over there. I gotta go get them. I see them when I come out here. Yes, I had those. And Tony says, Sally, bad people don't like good people. It's a universal law. And not to confuse bad people with imperfect people. There's a huge difference. Some folks are just malicious. Yes. Um, Heather says, oh yeah, I remember the cards and the spokes. Good memories. Yeah, like kids don't do that today. A lot of them I see, they have the um, powered scooters. They don't even push it with one foot to do their scooters anymore. And the motorized electric bikes, whatever they are, um, the little kids don't even have that. And there's one little boy here who has a little tiny, like a little dirt bike or something, but he rides it on the street. And he doesn't have a helmet on, and I know there's no helmet law for adults, but get one on that kid. So, um, but you know what, Tony? Back to what you were saying about people being malicious. I don't have it in my heart to do that. Even if somebody really hurt me, um, I don't have it in me. I don't. Hey, thanks for the mod. I'll use it with integrity. I'm a very patient person. Uh, I am too a patient person. You know who I'm not patient with is myself. And that's one of the things I really got to work on is like self-talk. I would do a lot better if I would just not talk to myself. Because, you know, sometimes I get so aggravated with myself. I say, everywhere I go, there she is. There I am. So, but, yeah, I don't think I could ever say something. I mean, I don't know. One time this boy, his name was Spike Jones. Spike Jones, if you're out there, I'm sorry, but this is the truth. He was bothering my brothers, and my brothers are younger than me, and I just, he was just being so horrific, and my brother was crying, and I went up, and do you know that I punched him right in the stomach, and then I ran away, and I never did anything like that in my life, and I never did it again. That was the one time I ever hit anybody. So, yeah, it was crazy. I'm not malicious either. Piss me off and look out. Well, the thing is, my mouth can be a very good tool if somebody bothers someone who I love, and um, but it's not necessarily to hurt the person that did whatever. Um, it's just, you know, you need to get away from them, you know, because they get loud. But I don't know. I just, it's rough. So, um, I've been like, it's really weird. You know how I had mentioned to people that have been following me a while, that my Anthony says, P.S. I'll use folks' YouTube name until I can memorize their name. My short-term memory plan. Yes, that's what I said. I either know your YouTube name or your real name. And Kelly was saying it's wise to use your real name in your title or your name in your channel somehow, you know. But see, no, you're not wrong. I already forgot what I was saying. Like I even have to get like postage or something and write down why I'm going into another room because it sounds funny, but it's not. I just get so aggravated. It's like, oh, what am I in here for? So, what was I saying? Let's see. I don't know what I was saying. I just remembered. I'm trying to remember what I said. So, Tony, what are your plans for today? Like, what time of day is it there? Is it? Because I know Kim's on the East Coast, Kelly's on the East Coast, and so is um, Heather. I think Heather's on the same time as me as well. I really like this chat today. Let me see. Well, I thought it was Kimberly's spouse. I just thought if I call him something, I'm not ill, feel like I'm an idiot. No, nobody's an idiot here. You know, we all have a sense of humor. If we mess up, we mess up. I'm going to sweep and mop the floors later. Well, feel free to come on over. You know what I got, Kimberly? You know how like when you go to a hairdresser or something and they sweep all the stuff up and they go next to this thing that's like a vacuum? It goes whoop and it sucks the hair in. I got this little one. It's like the size of a like a shredder, like when you shred your mail and stuff. Um, but because I have to do these floors all the time because of these dogs shedding, and I don't like when the tumbleweeds turn up. And I was like, I
have to drag out the shot back because I got to get along the corners because I'm that anal. Um, and I don't like to drag it out 3 times a day. So I've started using the broom and then with my back bending down. So the dustpan's hard to do. So I got this thing and it just, you sweep it right, put your broom right near it and it sucks it in. Well, my older dog, Gabriel, sometimes he'll like walk past it and like plop himself down in front of it and it scares the crap out of him. But it's come very. It wasn't that expensive, so but I have to empty that all the time too. Let's see, Heather. I'm doing my nails. My daughter is coming over. Just one of your daughters, and I'm cleaning for my neighbor's busy day. Busy day. Wow. I wish I had time to help other people, but I can't even help myself. Heather knows I've been cleaning my garage for quite some time now. I'm going to a Barbie exhibit Thursday. Ooh. I'm taking Gabriel to the vet on Thursday. So I'm thinking he's partially blind, but we'll see what they say. And he'll have to get his rabies shot. So. Wow, we're going to a Barbie exhibit. So you like Barbies, I'm taking. You collect them? Let's see. Tony says, my plans. I don't make plans a lot, Sally. I'm just being there from moment to moment. I only plan stuff when it's an official engagement. Oh, you're my kind of friend. I love it, Tony. I love it. I I used to be a planner, and I'd always be somewhere early. If I went to school, if it was a school day, I'd be there an hour early and I'd stay an hour after. Excuse me. But now I'm just like, excuse me. Um, I'm kind of a go with the flow because when I do have an appointment, I'm always running late, and I have such good intention of getting there early. Kimberly says at 10 a.m. I'm moderating for another friend. Oh, okay. Um, whose channel is it for? Um, but Anthony, aka Tony, I'm telling you, let me tell you, I, because every time I make plans, now that I'm, quote, retired, um, it never comes true, just like those to-do lists I have, and those to-do lists, and then I get just a couple things, but the thing is, with my somewhat ADHD, I have a list, but then when I go and do the thing in, say, the kitchen, okay, do the dishes, then I see, oh, well, this needs cleaned up. Oh, well, maybe I could clean the oven today, or I'll clean these storm doors. Well, if I clean the storm doors in here, I'll have to go and clean the front storm door. Like I get so sidetracked and I'm doing all these things where I really did have a productive day, but it wasn't on my list, so I don't consider it productive. Isn't that silly? Um, I'm all over the place, so that's why sometimes I say, everywhere I go, there she is. But oh, Tony, my best friend from high school, his name's Danny, and well, his name's Dan. Everybody calls him Dan now, but I still call him Danny because that's what I've known him for 45 years as. But he he is he used to be more outlandish than me as far as the goofiness, but now he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, Sal, because now he's like, oh, I go to the store and I start to talk to people like you because I always think about how you make all these friends. So, I said, just give someone a compliment, Danny. I mean, you'll start a conversation. Yeah. So, let's see. I haven't. Heather, I tell you about all these other channels, Heather, and you're not telling me about them. So, Lovey Tribe. Okay. And what does she do on there, Heather? What's on her channel? Oh, Tony says, I like the John Lennon line. Life is what happens when you when you busy making other plans. I think he was saying, just go with the flow. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, Tony. And then Kim says, I'm like that too, Tony. Go with the flow. Yeah, I like Kimberly's uh, personality and how she is. Um, yeah, I like that. And if you guys ever check out some other channels, check out Tracy. Tracy's in Idaho right now visiting her daughter, and I miss her so much. But um, she's I always get it wrong. Her last name's West, so it's Life in the Wild, WILDE West. Life in the Wild West is Tracy, and she is just such a beautiful person, a beautiful personality. She and she did a video um about being accepted, and she's trying to get monetized and things like that. But she's so wonderful, and she's getting a little bit, how we start to doubt ourselves. And I love her videos. Now she did recently, she painted her steps going upstairs to her house rainbow on the front of the steps, and she had it other colors before, but now she did it like a rainbow pastels. And I was like, Tracy, I've always wanted to do that. So I am going to do it, but I'm going to do mine in primary colors. And I was working on it, but um, so I got the Kilns, KILZ, to put the primer on, and I got the paints that she told me to get. But then I thought, you know what, with my back the way it is, I don't think I'm going to be able to do all these steps. So I was getting ready to do it all, and then I got a text message from, I think it was Michael's. There was some sale I had a coupon for. Um, so I went on there, and they had the vinyl like you use for the Cricut machine, but it was adhesive, and I thought, I could get that in the primary colors, and I could use that and just put it on there, and then I wouldn't have to, like, if we ever sold the house or anything, I wouldn't have to worry about my craziness of steps with the primary colors. Because being a kindergarten teacher, that's my personality. Even before I was a kindergarten teacher, I love bright colors. I love, I don't know, hugs and giggles, shits and giggles, like my what I have on my channel sometimes. Let me get some of these messages here because I'm chatting down there. Let's see. Go with the flow. Kimberly says that lifestyle vlog type channel, about 50 in the chat regularly. We have a lot of fun. Oh, okay. And then Kelly says she loves her channel too. And that was called Lovey Tribe, you said? Let's see. Yeah, Lovey Tribe. Okay, she spells Lovey different than I do. Okay. Let me see. Let me come back in here. Tony says, though I can be a bit OCD, sometimes I'll set my mind to something and won't let it go till I've sorted it. It's not so much a plan, more of correcting something that's bugging me. Tony, are you sure you're not in my head? Oh my gosh, I am like that. Oh my, I am so like that. If I get something in my head, I can't let it go. I have to finish it. Just like um, let's see. Whenever, okay, here's the perfect thing. When I'm trying to do something on the computer and I just can't get it, I get real frustrated. Heather can attest to this because I was making the stuff for the challenge, Project Me, and I wanted to get it out to the people that wanted to be in the challenge, and I just couldn't do it. And I was getting frustrated because I couldn't see the computer screen because my eyes are really, that's how bad my eyes are. And my son showed me how to make the writing on the screen bigger, but I couldn't remember. And I was so tired, and I was trying to get this stuff done, and I didn't want to let down my people. And So then I had to try to do the Excel for a checkoff list for their water intake and things like that. We were doing on it, and it was just so hard. And Heather had told me, because I was like, Heather, crying to Heather as usual, and she's like, you know what, just go lay down, go to sleep, and maybe start it tomorrow. And I didn't want to do it tomorrow. I wanted to finish it now, because I didn't want to let down my people in the challenge. So I did get it done, but the next day I had to do I did the Excel, but I didn't send it out until a little bit later. But it was so difficult to get that done because I just couldn't see the computer screen. So, Tony says, P.S. Look up a person called Clive DeCall. He's very good at fixing back problems. He's a very gentle 74-year-old man. You'll find him here on YouTube. I can post his URL if needed. Yeah, on my channel, Anthony, if you want to email me, anytime too. If if you don't catch me on here, I have my email on there, and that's how I connect with a lot of other people too. Besides doing lives. Oh my, there's people coming by there on their morning walk. It's humid out here, but it's bearable. Yesterday though, when I came out, as soon as I came out of the garage, and it's not air conditioned in my garage, and my glasses fogged up, and I thought, oh, my camera's gonna fog up too. So, yeah. Let's see, wow, small. Let's see. I must have missed something. Let's see. Yes, I'll check out that Tony Klein. Yeah, there's so many. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people have their lives scheduled. Anthony says, I'll email him to you. Sally, keep an eye on your spam folder. Doesn't tell me not. Okay, good. I always check my, well, I never used to. Let me tell you something. My main email has 150,000 emails that I have not opened. I just like when I got done with school, I just stopped checking my email. So I gotta get that cleaned up too. There goes my to-do list. I do have an appointment at 9 o'clock, but it's right down the street. I can get there real quick, but as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna have to get it together. Suck it up, Buttercup. So, yeah. I should put these books I keep on the porch, because sometimes when I sit out here, I open the book. I like to open the book or the Bible and just see where I should read. Embrace the suck. Heather says, sorry, I missed some. My neighbor brought me, zucchini bread. My mom, she used to make the zucchini bread, and, I'm doing all this cleaning in the garage, and a lot of stuff is still packed from when I lived in Idaho. And I found my mom's handwriting, and it was her zucchini bread recipe. I replied to my friend Linda last year. She said, Tony, I sent you this email in 2004. I replied, oops. Nice neighbor, Kimberly says to Heather. Yeah, nice neighbor. There's Levi. He's getting upset here. I don't know if you guys can hear him in there. Heather says, she brings us food all the time. Yeah, that's true. They do bring her food all the time. It's nice. Do you ever bake something and give it back to her? Like, are you a good baker, Heather? Or does Mike do the cooking? But now that he was laid up, probably you had to start doing the cooking. Or was it takeout? his Heather's husband had a heart attack, and be right back. Cat phone hood check. Oh, like with Tony's, Levi is named after the Bible, Leviticus. Yes, most of my animals are named after books of the Bible. You cook, okay, okay. I'm not ashamed of it. I like to eat. You can tell Daryl's the cook, but I do make some stuff. I make up these recipes, and he's always like, "Oh my gosh, how did you think of this?" And it's like, I don't know. Just looked in the cupboard what we have, and I just throw it together. But he loves Brussels sprouts, and I don't like the smell of those things. Ugh. But I made him these Brussels sprouts, and I just went to the spice rack and grabbed things, and he came up the steps. He's like, "Oh my goodness!" When he came home from work, and he's like, "What is that smell?" And I gave him to him with as a side dish. And he's like, "What did you put?" I said, "I don't know what I put in it because these were so good." And I was like, "I don't know what I put in there." So I tried to make it again, and it wasn't the same as his ooh ahs from that. Doesn't everybody like when someone says, ooh, ah, when you did something good? When you did something noticeable? But I tell you what, my table out here on the porch is like this film on it. I don't know if it's from like pollution or air. I don't know if they get the window cleaner out here. Ugh. Cooking healthy is becoming a challenge right now. I'm not, but I'm working on it. Yeah, just go on. I was gonna buy some cookbooks, but you know what? There's so many recipes that are online, and what I do is I print them out, and if I find one that we both like, then I put it in this binder with a plastic protective sheet, so it's kind of like our cookbook. If that makes sense. So we've been doing that for years. Like, Heather, what about the spicy pork chops I have on my cooking channel? Sally and Dee, um, Sally and Dee's Reality, or whatever my cooking channel's called. Daryl made those spicy pork chops. Those are so good. So, says, Tony says back, I'm a huge fan of the Bible, by the way, but I'm tolerant with people who are not. To each their own. Yes. No, that's one thing I don't discuss with people is religion and politics. See, Kim says, I love to cook and bake, but Robert gave me 10 days off for the 10 days his mom was here, and I was in the kitchen nonstop. Yeah, you had said that. Let's see. Heather says, that's exactly what I do with recipes. He can only have red meat and pork once a month? Daryl would die without red meat. Oh, I got, I guess it's sort of like, it's like a generic Blackstone. You know, everybody has those kind of like um, grills. I think Heather said she has one. Well, I got one for my husband at Sam's Club, and it was supposed to be $2.99. And I've been wanting to get it, and I couldn't afford it, but I still got it for him. And so we got it, and when I went through the line, I do the scan and go kind of thing. Hi, Paula. So when I looked at the receipt, it wasn't $299; it was $199. So he finally got it put together, and Heather was telling me what to do with seasoning it and everything, and she told me to get him special spatulas and all that. And so he has it put together, but we have to get a tank. So, see, Mrs. Paula does retirement. She says, I slept this morning, just woke up, stayed up too late watching Law and Order. Oh, that's my favorite show. One of my favorite shows. And Mike is dieting without it too. Oh, he's dying without it. Hey, what was I gonna say? Oh, does anybody watch Big Brother? I love reality TV, but it kind of like lets you escape from your own life. But I've been watching that show since the very first episode, and I got my nieces and that hooked on. They were little kids, and they would love watching that. It's kind of funny though, some of the shows, the reality TV. Um, okay, everybody's saying hi to Paula, and oh, I didn't know that, Heather. Um, Tony says, Paula, better late than never. Sleep is important, especially REM sleep. Yes. Yes, Survivor. Paula says she likes Survivor. Kelly says same since the beginning. Oh, Kelly, you've watched Big Brother? There was a couple teacher friends I had, and even after I had left the one job, they still called me in the summer. So Paula says hi all. Um, so Kelly, you like Big Brother, or were you saying that you liked Survivor? I used to watch Survivor, but it just I don't know. I don't know why I stopped liking it. But I don't have TV anymore. I get everything on YouTube. My son, last year he bought me for my birthday YouTube Premium or whatever it is, and no commercials. Oh my gosh, that was freaking heaven. Not having any commercials. Mm, mm, mm. That having YouTube without commercials is so nice. Um, and then I have Roku or whatever it is, and I happened to find it on my Roku TV, Big Brother, and it didn't have commercials. So I'm probably paying for it down the line sometime. I'm just going to go over my checking because there's so many things that are auto deducted that I don't even know they're there. you know. So, because I went and cleaned everything up a while ago, like all these auto deductions, like um, having Paramount and all these other things because I have Prime and that's enough. But I was like, I don't know, I was paying for a lot of stuff that I didn't know I had. Let's see, Roots. Wow, that was 1977. No, the the series, the documentary thing, Roots. I remember I was like 12 when that was on. Yeah, probably 77. Kelly says, my daughter was watching the live feed yesterday. Lots of drama going on. Oh, I used to have that too, but I got rid of it because I'm not working right now. Um, Tony says, wow, Kim, I ain't seen that series in like forever. I know, there's like so many things. The boy, and I'm talking about this young boy that sold us our car, his name was Shay, and we were talking to him about different things because he was getting a kick out of me because I was talking like I am now while we were waiting. And I was talking to him about, did anybody ever see the movie Something About Mary? My son, when he was a teenager, he thought that was the funniest movie. But Something About Mary is Cameron Diaz, or is it Cameron? I think I don't know. And somebody else is on it. Anyway, the main stars. My boys and my husband are really into like names of movies and who's in it. I just like it because it's that funny. But I was telling him about that, how it was just a funny movie. And also Pauly Shore with Son-in-Law, when he goes to the country and the young lady's trying to help him find country clothes so he can fit in, and he puts the chaps on without pants, and he goes, "Ooh, cheek chillers," and he thought that was the funniest thing ever. My son would rewind that that movie. Let's see, I'm missing some stuff here. Tony says, welcome, I ain't seen that in here. Kim says, I haven't either, Tony. Maybe it's time to revisit. Yes, isn't that nice to go back and watch things like that? Now that was like a long series. That was like, I remember it being on TV for a couple days because my uncle used to watch that. Pauly Shore is a trip. I don't know what happened to him though. I really miss every time I really like an actor, something happens. Like, let's see, Tony. I'm gonna rewatch the entire series of SGT from the 1950s in the near future. Phil Silvers and the whole team were hilarious. Yeah. But every time I like a star, like Chris Farley, then he ended up, dying. So I need to stay away from liking people, I guess. Stars and things, or something, or they're usually in some kind of controversy or something. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Whole team. Let me think what else I used to like. Another show. I know we were allowed to stay up until 7 o'clock because Daniel Boone was on, and my mom's like up to bed, and she wouldn't let us. After that was Happy Days when it first came out, and my mom and dad wouldn't let me watch that show. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Happy Days. My dad would say it's for grown-ups, but he just wanted us to go to bed. I watched the whole I Love Lucy series and then start over again. My fave. Yeah, she is funny. Yeah. There's so many things that you know what I found? For years now, for years, because right when I first got married to Daryl, I used to watch a show called Knots Landing, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and just happened to find it. I forget who told me about it, or did I find it myself? It ended up being on, I don't know if it was Prime or something, and I put it on. Yeah, Mama's Family. Paula said she liked Mama's Family. That is funny too. Um, but I finally found it, and I started watching it, and the acting and the sound on the videos and that is so old, so old. Most people usually have a very sad side to them. Robin Williams, yes. Most of the funny people, yes. And Chris Farley too. He abused himself. I mean, he would do all his like throwing himself on those tables and stuff when he would break them. Uh huh. Yep. So, thank you for hitting the like. Thank you. Wow. I hate to end this, but I have to get ready for an appointment. But guys, it's so great to see you guys, and you know, um, and my heart is so happy right now. I don't even know what to say, but I just had a really nice visit with you guys. Like we're all sitting around, having coffee together in the morning and talking about God and rehashing the older days and things. I mean, this is awesome. Tony says Paula Lucille was in a lot of old time 1940s radio series from the 40s. You find them on achieve.org. Um, archive.org. I'm a huge old time radio fan. And Kelly says, this was fun. Thank you, Kelly. Um, thank you for coming. And thank you again for doing the Facebook um, page. I hope I can get on there, figure that out. Let's see. Heather says, such a great chat this morning. And Paula says, very nice visit, Sally. Yes, I really, really enjoyed this. Tony, don't forget to email me. And I'm trying to do this every day, but sometimes it's not right when the sun's coming up, and I'll sit in the recliner and watch my Ring doorbell since I can see where the sun is. And sometimes I'll doze off because I stay up all night. It's horrible. But I don't think this fog is going to lift, so that's so much for the sunrise with Sally. Maybe I'll check in later. I do have a video I need to post later. But yeah. And I hope everyone has a great day. So this is Heather. And guys, God bless you all. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I'm just so happy. And Paula and Kelly and Heather, go get your morning exercise in, and me too. All right. I love you all. All right. I will text you later. And yes, in Jesus' name. All right. I love you all. Talk to you later.